So good afternoon, everyone. And look, Mayor Adams and the Police Commissioner Caban have been crystal clear since day one that public safety is their top priority. And, you know, in the beginning of February and at the direction of City Hall and NYPD leadership, we increased the deployment of police officers into the New York City subway system. This deployment is an example of our continued commitment toward public safety, and the results of these investments over the last couple of months have been encouraging. Overall crime in the subway system in February was down, and so far in the month of March, that downward trend continues, where overall crime so far in March is down 15.5% when compared to last year. It's clear to everyone watching that we recognize the importance of a safe and orderly subway system, and that is why we were here. This afternoon, I'm announcing the expansion of the NYPD's presence within the subway system. Operation Fair Play, and that's FAIR spelled F-A-R-E, is a week-long operation starting today that might continue, and that will see the deployment of hundreds of officers to dozens of subway stations throughout the city. Operation Fair Play is a department-wide effort focused on fare evasion enforcement and will be supported by both transit officers and officers from outside bureaus, and by members in uniform and in plain clothes. Blatant fare evasion at the turnstiles remains one of the primary complaints from both law-abiding subway riders and the MTA. Our riders should not be subjected to open acts of lawlessness anywhere in our subway system. And that tone of law and order must start at the fare gates. Operation Fair Play is a reminder to those who would think about bringing disorder to our turnstiles and the rest of the subway system. Don't do it. Don't jump. Don't crawl. Don't come through the gate. Make the right decision. Enter the system properly and lawfully, because if you don't, chances are you will be stopped. You may walk away with a warning, or you may walk away with a summons, just like 28,000 other fare beaters did already this year. Or you may end up in handcuffs when circumstances dictate, like the 1,700 people did already this year. I'll end with this. Over the past several weeks, the riding public has seen a visible and palpable increase to uniform presence in our subways. With Operation Fair Play, they'll see even more.
Express 3, train 2, New Locks Avenue, 2 minutes.
All right, so obviously, as we told you when we overheard Skimmerhorn, the commitment to transit safety starts with depth of service and keeping bad people out of the system. Most people commit these crimes are not paying their fare, and that's why you see Operation Fair Play happening this week. So with that, we're not going to take a ton of questions, but we'll take some on-topic questions if you have them, all right?
Mac Rosenberg, can you tell us what stations you're going to be deploying this new initiative, where you're going to be?
So because of the fact we want to keep it random, and we're not going to discuss exactly what stations, but they'll be deployed throughout the 5 boroughs.
Over here.
There was 2 stabbings today, 10 blocks apart in Brooklyn. How are you going to get these weapons out of the train system? I think people want to know what you're doing.
So we're doing a lot. And look, the tone of law and order starts at the turnstiles, right? So far for this year,
there is
thousands of fare evasion contacts, either arrests or summonses.
Approaching the station.
There have been 20.
Away from the platform edge.
I'll wait for the. There have been 20 gun arrests so far in the subway system in the first 7.5 weeks for people trying to enter the subway system with guns. 10 of them, actually 11 of them. I'll talk about the 11th, which just happened today. 11 of the 20 gun arrests, they were stopped from entering at the turnstiles. Just this morning in Manhattan, at the Lansing and Essex, just before 11 a.m., transit cops stopped an individual, a male entering the subway system. He went through the gate without paying. He was stopped. He was wanted for a grand larceny, and lo and behold, he had on him a firearm on him. Dozens and dozens of other illegal weapons are recovered, knives, and other items that could be used against people. So look, our cops remain focused at the task in hand, and they're having success.
Cash, you want to talk about technology right quick?
Good afternoon, Kaz Daughtry, Deputy Commissioner of Operations. So I'm not going to go into details. But the police commissioner and the mayor has tasked me to try to find new technology that we can implement down here in the subway system using the existing technology that we have here, which is our cameras that you guys see around us. And we're going to be looking for weapons. I'm not ready to make an announcement right now, but hopefully the next couple of days, when we finalize the, dealing with the companies, I'll be able to come back here and make an announcement of what technology that we're going to be using. But the message is that we are looking for technology that we can currently use down here in the subway system that can detect weapons to keep strap hangers and customers safe. Thank you.
Phil? No, good. Fix 11, had a question?
No, answered.
Would you say a majority of the arrests you make in the transit system are fair?
There is an Uptown Express.
Say that one more time.
Train to Wakefield 241st Street. 1 minute.
A good number of them are, yeah. And again, look at the. This is not about.
Soy Janice y llamo Manhattan Beca. Estoy colaborando con la MTA para crear conciencia sobre los peligros de sortear en el metro. Las consecuencias son graves y pueden
We'll just wait for that message to end.
No pierdas la vida. Viaje adentro, manténganse vivos.
So, look, the goal of our fare evasion enforcement is not to arrest people. I think that has to be clear. It's to correct behavior. And that behavior that weighs heavily on our riders' minds. It's behavior that reeks of lawlessness, and we need to set that tone of law and order right when the riders come into the subway system, whether they're law-abiding riders or not. And look, it's not fair to the paying customer. This is one of the top complaints we hear from the riders. Why am I paying and this person isn't paying? It's not fair to them, and it's not fair to the MTA that's losing untold tens of millions of dollars a year. So again, this is about correcting behavior and keeping the subway system safe and our riders ultimately safe.
All right, last one and two. What we got?
Why wait? You talk about wait. Why that time then?
So let me be clear. Fare evasion enforcement and turnstile presence is a key component to our crime reduction strategy. We do that every day of the year. This is not something new. This week, we're stepping that up. We're adding an additional layer, if you will, of presence focused on the fare evasion enforcement. And again, that's why our partners are here supplementing us. I can't thank them enough. We can't do it alone. So we're going to be supplemented from our partners in Patrol Services Bureau. And like I said before, you're going to see a uniform presence doing this and also a plainclothes component also.
All right, Operation Fair Play. There's no more freebies anymore. You talked about weapons coming down. This is where it starts, as Chief Kemper mentioned. This is 800 cops. 800 cops being surged into this system over the next 5 days at strategic locations based on crime, MTA statistics, and community complaints. This is not a one-week deal. It's called Operation Fair Play, and we're going to do it time and time again. We're not giving the locations because we want people to know. What we want to let them know is, don't think you're going to come down here and get a free ride and bring your weapons. You don't know where we're going to be, how many we're going to be, in addition to what Transit's already doing. So that's the message that's got to go out.
How will the National Guard partnership help at all with confiscating weapons, and how is that going?
So as we said before about the National Guard, anybody coming into the train station to help us out, we appreciate that help. But this is not about the National Guard. This is about Operation Fair Play, and the National Guard is not a part of that. This is an NYPD surge. And again, as the mayor has told us, and you see our team, we don't have boundaries. This might be the chief of transit, this might be the chief of patrol, but we are the NYPD, and together we're going to reduce crime and make sure people feel safe in transit.
Thank you. Is there a known cost to this? How much does this cost to have?
We haven't even done it yet, so we have to look back at that and see. We'll see how many hours it takes. We'll get back to you on that.
Most people are like, they already have prior felonies or anything like how to commit crime. Most people are arrested on the MTA system already have any felony or crime. Their system. So is there a data that how many of them already have a felony or any misdemeanor to them and they are repeated offenders?
Recidivism, actually.
Say that one more time, I apologize.
People who are arrested the exit system for committing crimes, they usually have a prior felony or any record to their name. So is there any data how many of these people are repeat offenders, and if there is anything, and like, do they have misdemeanors or felonies?
So a lot of people have prior
There
arrests.
is a
We talk about this all the time. We talk about repeat offenders,
train to
and we
New
talk
Lots
about
Avenue.
recidivism,
Approaching the station, please
and it's a
stand away from the
challenge.
platform edge.
I speak about this all the time. Look, here's
And
some
Uptown
interesting data.
Express,
Last
three,
year
train
in the
to
transit
Harlem
system,
148th
there were
Street. Approaching the station,
13,600
please stand
arrests
away
made
from
in
the
the subway
platform
system.
edge.
When looking at those 13,600 arrests, there were 5 people. There were 124 people that were arrested 5 or more times, just last year in the subway system. And when looking at those 124 people combined, they've been arrested over 7,500 times in their lifetimes. So if that doesn't tell you the story about recidivism and repeat offenders and the challenges we face as a police department, I'm not sure what will.
All right, thanks everybody. So,
Could
that's,
a citizen, could an everyday taxpayer citizen ask a question? I got one question.
yeah, we'll come over to you right after
I got
this.
just one question.
Thanks everybody, and if you got any follow